Okay, so a quick chat about pool filters on aquariums. Now, pool filters on aquariums have advantages and disadvantages. They're very neat. They're very easy to service because generally you just backwash them. They're generally not terribly expensive for what they are, and they can run very high flow rates. So there's lots of goodness that you can consider when having these filters. But the disadvantage of these filters is the fact that they don't really offer substantial denitrification, so therefore they do tend to end up with higher amounts of nitrates. Now, if you have very high waste output animals, maybe you're not too concerned about that, but it is a consideration. The other thing is that these are fully submersed, so there's no oxygen intake for these things in general, so therefore they tend to run a lower redox potential and dissolved oxygen level. So if you had, let's say, a traditional sump filter, then you can put even better media in it, such as Marine Pure. Marine Pure is going to offer parallel denitrification, so therefore you're probably not going to need to do as many water changes, but there will be more involved with cleaning something like that. It's not just a matter of doing a quick backwash like a pool filter. So if you have a very large aquarium with very large display fish and you are doing regular water changes, then something like this is definitely an option to look at. It's neat, it's tidy, it looks cool, it's easy to backwash, it can flow large amounts of water, and so forth. Now, if you do have these filters, I do really try to make sure that when you return the water back to the aquarium, I want to make sure that you maximize your surface agitation, because once again, these are closed units, so therefore there's no oxygen getting in, so therefore the good bacteria in the water does tend to drop your dissolved oxygen level and redox potential. So for a big tank, if you've got limited space for filtration, you might appreciate the high flow, you might appreciate the fact that you've just got to backwash it, you might appreciate the fact that you've got various options for media to put inside it, including things like K1. So there's definitely advantages on one side. And so for a smaller aquarium where you can run, say, a sump with Marine Pure, that would definitely be my option. But there are definitely times when a pool filter is something that's very practical to go for. So anyway, put a little note on the bottom of this video and let me know if you have ever ran a pool filter, what your opinion was, what media you put in it, and what was your general feedback, and what sort of fish were you running. So it's absolutely something that you can consider. It doesn't tend to be my first go-to option, but there certainly are opportunities to consider their use. Now, in general, my favorite biological media is Marine Pure. The reason why I love Marine Pure is due to its parallel denitrification. So the Marine Pure is able to grow nitrifying bacteria on the outside of the media and denitrifying bacteria on the inside of the media. You can get it in blocks, you can get it in balls, it comes in a different lot of media, but these are really designed for something like a sump or potentially a canister filter, but something that's much slower flow because the denitrification does not occur in the mega high flow, and also the Marine Pure will tend to break up if it's in too much water flow. So if you had something like a pool filter and you put the Marine Pure in, it will bang around too much and it will just turn into this white thing, because that's really not what they're for. They're really for an application like this, where it's really relatively low pressure and low flow, and then that's allowing the good bacteria a great opportunity to grow, and then you're growing the nitrifying and the denitrifying bacteria within the media itself. So for a standard Bob's Your Uncle aquarium, Marine Pure is absolutely my go-to media. But as far as a very large tank with limited room, then the high flow considerations are something that we do need to look at, because something like a pool filter with basic modifications is absolutely a consideration.